Hello and welcome. This is Redline News. I am JDM reporting to you on Easter Saturday. Saturday before Easter. Yeah, first news is from BMW. They're making a new car. Well, not entirely new. It'll be based upon the X3. It'll be called the X3 X-Drive 18D. It'll have a 2-liter diesel engine, 143 brake horsepower, 258 pound-feet of torque, which to say is quite big. But and it'll do and it'll do 38 miles to the gallon. But it takes over 10 seconds to go to 60 miles an hour. I'm not a big fan of the X3 to begin with, but this could be the worst version of it, of all of them, because the car itself weighs 4,000 pounds. Okay, a 4,000 pound car was struggling with the old 2.5 liter 184 horsepower 6-cylinder. So how do you think it's gonna struggle with a 143 horsepower diesel? Ugh, not gonna do well. Next, motorsport. There's some good news and some bad news in the world of NASCAR. We'll go with the bad news, get it out of the way. First of all, Eric Almirola loses his drive with Earnhardt Ganassi. Eric Almirola and EGR cannot find sponsors for his number 8 car because the results have been lame this year, plainly put. But fortunately, cars 42 and 1, driven by Montoya and Martin Truex Jr., will stay. And in fact, Montoya is doing quite well. He's in 13th position, and he just needs to score 45 more points. And if he can do that, by the time the second race at Richmond rolls around, he'll be in the chase. Mind you, Martin Truex Jr., no. Now the good news. AJ Allmendinger has found sponsorship. Yeah, his car 44, was nearly sponsorless. And now they've gotten the Hunt Brothers Pizza to come on and sponsor them. This color scheme will be on for the Coke 600, the Chevy 400 at Richmond, and the Chicagoland race. This deal expires on race 26. So if they cannot find for the end of the year, they may have to transfer AJ to the 43, which is right now driven by Reed Sorensen, who is not exactly racking in the results at the moment. Next, from Mercedes-Benz. This is something my friend suggested I put on. Did you know that a Mercedes-Benz logo, the cheesy little thing they put on the car, costs $500 to replace it? And anyway, if you're not really into, cheesy stuff, you could just get some Elmer's glue and just go and stick it in. But the dealer suggests to put it back on, and it'll cost $500 to put a logo on. Yeah, that's true. I wasn't really interested either. It was just a bit that someone told me to put in. Next. This is from the New York Auto Show. Fisker, you remember, the company who wanted to make that hybrid car, Henrik Fisker, rich guy. Anyway, this new electric car, they're going to make a cheaper version of it. Instead of being 80 grand, it'll be around 50 grand, which means that this will be a slightly classier version of the Chevy Volt or the Tesla S sedan, which is coming out pretty soon. Next, the Audi Q7 TDI has been revealed. This car, despite being a humongous SUV, has the world's cleanest diesel engine. I'm not sure why they need to put it in a Hippo, but oh well. Anyway, it's got a 3-liter, 221 horsepower V6 diesel engine. It'll cost just around $51,000, but it'll tow 6,500 pounds of thrust to tow stuff. So this thing is going to have a lot of torque. Next, the McLaren SLR on its swan song, but there's a tuning shop package for it made by the RML Group, a tuning shop in the UK. It's called the SLR 722 GT. It's got an FIA safety grade spec roll cage, carbon brakes, a ton of carbon fiber. It's got a racing exhaust, 670 brake horsepower, and if I had to bet, when you lift off the throttle, it probably spits out huge flames. Got a paddle shifted manual gearbox like a Formula 1 car, and if you'd like to buy one from America, you're going to have to pay $1.2 million. Whew. Yep, so Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? If you want to buy one, there went everything. Next, the Mitsubishi Outlander is getting a souped up version. It'll be called the Outlander GT. If you look at the front end, it should look like the Evo, but it's got an Outlander back end. It's got a better interior, upgraded. It'll be around $30,000 with the 220 horsepower V6 engine, but it does get the Evo 10 smart all-wheel drive system. Next, the Scion IQ. Yes, it's based on the Toyota IQ being sold in other foreign markets such as Japan and Europe. It could be sold in the US, sold with a 110 horsepower 1.5 liter engine that has been commonplace in the Yaris and a few other Toyotas lately. To me, this car sucks. I've actually been to Japan lately, so I've been able to sit in one. And the rear seat, and yes, it has a rear seat, is absolutely useless. There's no trunk space. The whole interior looks like it's a Fisher-Price kit, and you can't preset your favorite stations on the radio. I don't know why you'd buy one. And anyway, it's quite expensive too. In Japan, it's about $16,000. And compared to other cars, that is just massive. Next, to close it off, why Formula One coverage could be better on speed, okay? Right now, they're good, okay? They've got Peter Windsor, who's the only guy I don't like because he seems like a Hamilton guy. He always plugs Lewis Hamilton. Maybe it's because he's British. Anyway, yeah. David Hobbs, he's pretty good. He's very knowledgeable. He can analyze the tracks very, very well. He lets us know everything, and he's a very solid commentator. Same goes for Bob Varsha. He's the only guy, save for Windsor, he's the only guy who hasn't actually worked on Formula One cars, but he's very knowledgeable. He knows his stuff, and he's a very good guy. Next, my favorite, Steve Matchett. He's a former mechanic on these cars. He makes up some very insightful comments. He knows these chassis well. He can comment on what they're doing. He's really scary about how precise he is on the team's pit stops. But my biggest gripe about speed, besides Peter Windsor, is this: their ads. I mean, come on, okay? When we watch the Chinese Grand Prix, which is on at 2:30 in the morning for our time, be honest, do you want to see a bunch of ads talking about how to increase the size of your tool? No, nobody wants to see that. So if nobody wants to see that, then why post them? I mean, come on. Who wants some pills to make your tool bigger and all this stuff about new motor oil? I'm just not interested. Anyway, yep, sorry about the little rant, but we're going to have to end it right now. Thank you very much for watching. See you later.